Right, so I am guessing you knew nothing of the original.
You know, surprisingly, I did, because my mom is a big lover of films, and she's always recommended films for me growing up. And when I told her about this, she was like, "Oh my God, you have to watch the original." And I watched it, and I remember her telling me it was a huge part of her childhood. And I watched it, and I fell in love with it. My sister and I were like, "This is such a classic, timeless film. The comedy is still hysterical, and it really is such an honor to kind of retell the story."
So what did your mum think?
She was thrilled. She couldn't believe it because it's such an iconic piece of everyone's childhood. It's like, what an honor for me and for everyone in the cast.
And good to have two kind of female leads.
Amazing.
How often does that happen?
Amazing, not
Really?
much. And I love that so much about this film, that behind all the action and the adventure and the comedy, there is really a story about two girls empowering each other and kind of saving the day on their own, which is really special and a really beautiful message.
Now, your character is pretty chaotic.
To say the least.
Would you ever leave her in charge of anything?
So the Lola in the beginning, no, never. I would keep her away from kitchens, from fires, anything, children. But the Lola at the end, I feel like, learns quite a bit from this experience. And Jenny and Lola kind of learn from each other. Jenny learns to live in the moment and to kind of live life a bit more. And Lola learns that even though you have to live life and take risks, you also have to be responsible. So I think the Lola at the end of the movie would be quite a fun babysitter.
A babysitter or like just a dog sitter? Because I'm still not sure whether she can handle real
I'm
people.
not sure about Marmalade. I'm not sure if she can handle the dog. I think she might, since she had a good experience with the kids. She might be good with the kids, but with the dog, I'm not sure if we've gotten there yet.
Exactly. Have you ever had one of those days where, I mean, this film, everything kind of goes wrong.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one of those days where everything kind of...
I think we kind of all have those days where it's like, oh, really, this too? But nothing like this movie. Remember when we were shooting a scene when we get stuck outside the pawn shop? We were literally in the middle of nowhere at 2 a.m. Luckily with the whole crew and security, so we were fine. But we were saying, if this was actually happening, this is frightening. Like, it really is pretty crazy what happens to them. But luckily I haven't had any mishaps like that yet.
How about babysitters? Have you had many babysitters?
I've had babysitters my whole life. I've babysat as well. It's such a big part of, I feel like, everyone's childhood and everyone's culture. It's so cool to kind of see this movie kind of bring like a vicarious adventure that we've all kind of almost dreamt of come to life. I have, but I haven't had any mishaps, luckily. Not when I've been babysat or when I've been babysitting. I haven't started any fires yet, although I can't cook, so that might happen. And I haven't lost a child yet as well, but we'll see.
So how do you think the kids that you babysat for will feel about you doing this film?
That's a cute idea. They'll probably think that I'm quite different from Lola because I feel like I'm a little bit in the middle ground between Jenny and Lola. Like Lola, I'm also an artist and that I love my art, which is music and acting and dancing. But I've always been kind of a nerd and a little bit more inside the box and a little bit more disciplined like Jenny. So when it comes to whenever I babysat, I was always very much following the rules. They were probably like, she's not as fun as Lola.
So they were in bed on time.
In bed on time, and no one left the house.
Excellent. Right, so a few more questions about adventures and stuff now, because obviously they have a massive adventure. What's the best adventure you've had?
The best adventure I've had is probably the one that I'm on right now. I'm living my dream every day of my life, and it's been such an incredible journey. I would say that's been the best one. I have adventures every day in this business, and I'm loving every second of it.
What's the most adventurous thing you've done?
The most adventurous thing I've done? That's a great question. I feel like I've probably done something cool, but I can't think of it right now.
Have you jumped off buildings?
I haven't jumped off a
bungee
building.
jumped?
I haven't, but I would love to skydive. I've always wanted to do like shark diving as well. I've been scuba diving. That was pretty cool. Rock climbing was pretty cool.
Are you allowed to do dangerous sports?
You know, I'm very clumsy, so if it was up to my parents, my grandparents are always like, Sophia, please stay away from anything active apart from dancing because you're gonna fall on your face. And I do usually. Like recently I've been into boxing and as a form of exercise. And my grandfather was like, Sophia, please, I beg you don't go back in the ring again. Who knows what's gonna happen to you? And I'm like, oh, it's so true. I'm probably gonna get hurt. I'm so clumsy.
How is the boxing? Is it good?
I love it. Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it quite a bit. I haven't had any injuries yet.
And what's an adventure you'd like to have?
An adventure I'd like to have. I would love to go skydiving. I would really, really love that. And maybe I would say skydiving is probably the biggest adventure that I would like to have.
Okay. I wanted to ask you a bit about your singing as well,
Yes.
because obviously it's Wild Side, isn't it, that you sang?
Wild Side is the theme song of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what was it like? Did you have the song actually playing while you were driving along?
I actually hadn't even heard the song. So I had no idea what I was listening to. I was humming to myself. And then when I heard it, I was like, ooh, I thought it was an incredible song. We enjoyed it very much. And the music video was amazing to shoot as well.
So how is the singing going?
It's going great. So I've been writing music since I was 10 years old and dreaming of it since I was a little girl. So it's a dream to share my music with the world. And I just released my debut single, Love is the Name, and it's been amazing. I've been touring the world, promoting the single, and so far it has, I think, almost over 17 million views on YouTube so far, thanks to all the amazing fans, and working on my debut album right now to release next year.
What is it like, having kind of dreamed of doing that for so long, to actually have a single out and that people know it?
It really is surreal. I was recently, I was in a concert and I was singing Love is the Name, and the second the song started, everyone in the room was singing the lyrics. And that was the one I had dreamt of since I was a little girl, and it was so surreal. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get through the song, but to be able to live my dream every day, whether it's in, making movies like this or in singing, it really is so surreal, and I pinch myself every morning.
How do you balance it with the acting as well?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're able to combine it in some projects, but
Right.
How do you work out when you want to do, when's right for singing?
Right.
I'm guessing your music career, this is when it's kind of
Taking off,
Yeah.
yes. I don't do it alone. I have an incredible team, an incredible family who helps me every step of the way. So a lot of it comes to scheduling and timing, like you say. I think it all worked out so amazingly that my first film happened to be Descendants. My first introduction to the world was as a singer and an actress. So that worked out great to start launching my career after that. Now that I'm doing more films and my name is getting out there a bit more, it's the right time to launch my music as well. So it's all about timing as well.
Is there anyone whose career you'd kind of like? Is there
Yeah.
anyone you think?
Most definitely. I've always admired the careers of performers like Jennifer Lopez, like Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, who not only are incredible performers on stage and amazing dancers. I've been in since I was 3, so I've always admired them so much. But they also have careers in film as well. So I'd love to continue to do all of it and to just be a performer and to continue to sing and to be in film as well.
The other thing you can do is speak French really well.
I do speak French. I was just in Paris and I was doing interviews and stuff in French, which was very exciting.
Half of us in this country is only across the way and we can't speak
Oh.
French that well. So have you always wanted to go to France, or is there a connection?
I always really liked the French language, and in middle school or in junior high I had the opportunity to learn French because I already spoke Spanish, so I thought it'd be great to learn a third language, and it's come quite in handy, and it's such a beautiful language as well. It's really, really beautiful.
Did you have fun over there?
I did, had the greatest time. We had this beautiful photo shoot on the streets of Paris. It was surreal.
I saw some of the pictures.
Yeah.
Was that exactly how you kind of imagined Paris to be?
It's so much more than you imagine. I've been a few times, and every time I go, you kind of forget how beautiful and how perfect it is. It's really just a magical city.
Okay, final question. What is your favourite thing to do when you go to Paris?
When I go to Paris, my favorite thing to do is to just get lost in the streets.
Do you not get worried after a while that you don't know where you are?
Yes, but then I'll somehow find my way back. But, just kind of roaming the streets of Paris is something pretty magical.
Brilliant. That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.